Karachi is the largest and most populous city in Pakistan and seventh most populous urban city in the world. It is the capital of Sindh province of Pakistan. It is the main seaport and financial center of Pakistan. Karachi is also known as City of Lights mainly due to the city's nightlife. It is famous for being a city that never sleeps. Karachi Metro has an estimated population of over 23.5 million people as of 2013, and area of approximately 3,527 square kilometers, resulting in a density of more than 6,000 people per square kilometer. Karachi is the seventh largest urban agglomeration in the world, and the second largest in the Muslim world. It is also the world's seventh least expensive city to live based on cost of living. It is Pakistan's center of banking, industry, economic activity and trade, and is home to Pakistan's largest corporations, including those involved in textiles, shipping, the automotive industry, entertainment, the arts, fashion, advertising, publishing, software development and medical research. The city is a hub of higher education in South Asia and the Muslim world. Karachi is also ranked as a B world city. It was the capital of Pakistan until Islamabad was constructed as a capital to spread development evenly across the country and to prevent it from being concentrated in Karachi. Karachi is the location of the Port of Karachi and Port Bin Qassim, two of the region's largest and busiest ports. After the independence of Pakistan, the city population increased dramatically when hundreds of thousands of Muslim Muhajirs from India and from other parts of South Asia came to settle in Karachi. The city is located on the Arabian Sea coastline. It is also known as the Uras al-Bilad, the bride of the cities, the City of Lights, and the City of the Quaid, having been the birth and burial place of Quaid-e-Azam, the great leader Muhammad Ali Jinnah, the founder of Pakistan, who made the city his home after Pakistan's independence from the British Raj on the 14th of August 1947. The term "City of Lights" was first used during Ayub era when new buildings, residential and recreational areas were constructed. During British Raj, it was also described as Paris of Asia. Quote, according to PricewaterhouseCoopers, in 2009, Karachi had a total GDP of $78 billion, with conservative projections expecting it to rise to $193 billion in 2025. The city generates 35% of Pakistan's tax revenue and is a transit point for majority of its trade. History. Founding and early history. The late Paleolithic and Mesolithic sites found by the Karachi University team on the Mulberry Hills, in front of Karachi University campus, constitute one of the most important archaeological discoveries made in Sindh during the last 50 years. The last hunter-gatherers, who left abundant traces of the passage, repeatedly inhabited the hills. Some 20 different locations of flint tools were discovered during the surface surveys. Karachi was known to the ancient Greeks by many names. Krokla, the place where Alexander the Great camped to prepare a fleet for Babylonia after his campaign in the Indus Valley. Moronto Bara, from whence Alexander's admiral Negus set sail, and Babarikon, a port of the Bactrian kingdom. It was later known to the Arabs as Dibal, from where Muhammad bin Qassim led his conquering force into South Asia in AD 712. Karachi was reputedly founded as Kolachi by Baloch tribes from Balochistan and Makran, who established a small fishing community in the area. Descendants of the original community still live in the area on the small island of Abdulagoth, which is located near the Karachi port. The original name, Kolachi, survives in the name of a well-known Karachi locality named Mai Kolachi in Baluchi. Mughal Empire. Mirza Ghazi Beg, the Mughal administrator of Sindh, is among the first historical figures credited for the development of coastal Sindh, including the cities of Thatta, Bambor and Karachi. During his rule the city was well fortified against Portuguese colonial incursions in Sindh, Dibal and the Mineral Island, and was visited by Ottoman Admiral Saidi Ali Raisin, mentioned in his book Mira al-Mamalik in 1554. The ancient names of Karachi included Krokla, Barbarikon, Nawana, Ramba, Karak, Aurangabandar, Minagara, Kolachi, Marontobara, Kolachi Jogoth, Banbor, Dibal, Barbaras and Karachi. The village that later grew out of this settlement was known as Kolachi Jogoth. By the late 1720s, the village was trading across the Arabian Sea with Muscat and the Persian Gulf region. The local Sindhi populace built a small fort that was constructed for the protection of the city, armed with cannons imported by Sindhi sailors from Muscat, Oman. The fort had two main gateways, one facing the sea, known as Kara Darwaza, and the other facing the Lyari River, known as the Mitar Darwaza, which correspond to the modern areas of Karadar and Midadar. The name Karachi was used for the first time in a Dutch document of 1742, when a merchant ship de Ridderkerk shipwrecked nearby its coast. The city continued to be ruled by the Talpur Emirs of Sindh until it was occupied by Bombay Army under the command of John Keane on 2 February, 1839. British Raj. After some exploratory missions to the area, the British East India Company captured the town when HMS Wellesley anchored off Manora Island on 1 February 1839. 2 days later, the little fort surrendered. The town was later annexed to British East India Company-held territories in India when parts of Sindh were captured by Major General Charles James Napier after the victory in the Battle of Miani on 17 February 1843. On his departure in 1847, Napier is said to have remarked, "Would that I could come again to see you in your grandeur." Karachi was made the capital of Sindh after British victory in 1843. On Napier's departure, it was added along with the rest of Sindh to the Bombay Presidency, a move that caused resentment among the native Sindhis. The British realized the importance of the city as a military cantonment and as a port for exporting the produce of the Indus River basin, and developed its harbour for shipping. The foundations of a city municipal government were laid down and infrastructure development was undertaken. New businesses opened up and the population of the town began rising. The arrival of the troops of the Company Bahadur in 1843 spawned the foundation of the new section, the military cantonment. The cantonment formed the basis of the White Town, where the local population had limited access. This town was modeled after English industrial parent cities, where work and residential spaces were separated, as were residential from recreational places. The native town in the northwest was enlarged to accommodate the burgeoning mercantile population. When the Indian Rebellion of 1857 broke out in South Asia, the 21st Native Infantry, then stationed in Karachi, declared allegiance to the rebels and joined their numbers on 10 September 1857. Nevertheless, the British were able to quickly reassert control over Karachi and defeat the uprising. Officer William W.A.F. Frost was considered to be instrumental in quelling the rebellion and was rewarded for his valor with an Order of the British Empire. This was awarded to him on 23 April 1858. However, he remains unpopular in areas of Karachi to this day. In 1864, the first telegraphic message was sent from South Asia to England, when a direct telegraph connection had been laid between Karachi and London. In 1878, the city was connected to the rest of British India by rail. Public building projects, such as Frere Hall and the Empress Market, were undertaken. In 1876, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, the founder of Pakistan, was born in the city according to some accounts, which by now had become a bustling city with mosques, temples, courthouses, paved streets and a harbour. By 1899, Karachi had become the largest wheat exporting port in the east. Before 1880, the majority of the population of Karachi consisted of the indigenous Sindhis and Balochis. These developments in Karachi resulted in an influx of economic migrants: Parsis, Hindus, Christians, Jews, Marathas, Goan Christian, Chinese, British, Arabs and Gujaratis. The population of the city was about 105,000 inhabitants by the end of the 19th century, with a mix of nationalities. Post-independence. By the time of Pakistan's independence in 1947, Karachi had become a bustling metropolis with slightly under 500,000 people, and classical and colonial European-styled buildings lining the city's thoroughfares. In 1947, Karachi was chosen as the capital of Pakistan. Despite communal violence across India and Pakistan, Karachi remained peaceful, but it became the focus for the resettlement of Muslim Muhajirs fleeing from the anti-Muslim pogroms in India, which expanded the city's population and transformed its demographics and economy. Between 1958 and 1970, Karachi was neither the capital of Pakistan or the capital of Sindh due to the one-unit program being enacted. In 1958, the capital of Pakistan was moved from Karachi to Rawalpindi. The foreign embassies in Karachi moved to the newly developed capital Islamabad, near Rawalpindi. There are consulates and honorary consulates as diplomatic missions in Karachi. During the 1960s, Karachi was seen as an economic role model around the world. Many countries sought to emulate Pakistan's economic planning strategy, and one of them, South Korea, copied the city's second five-year plan, and the World Financial Center in Seoul is designed and modeled after Karachi. Karachi had both a municipal corporation and a Karachi Divisional Council in the 1960s, which developed schools, colleges, roads, municipal gardens, and parks. The Karachi Divisional Council had working committees for education, roads, and residential societies development and planning. Shifting of capital marked the start of a long period of decline in the city, especially causing the reduction in large-scale industry by 37.9%. The 1970s also saw major labor struggles in Karachi's industrial estates. The 1980s and 1990s saw an influx of thousands of Afghan refugees from the Soviet war in Afghanistan into Karachi. They were followed in smaller numbers by refugees escaping from Iran. Karachi ethnic groups included Muhajirs, Sindhis, Punjabis, Kashmiris, Saraikis, Paktans, Balochis, Memons, Boras, Ismailis, etc. After the 1970s, Karachi has become home to about 5 to 7 million Pashtuns, which is more than Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, ethnic and political violence broke out across the city when Muhajir followers of the Muhajir Zumi movement fought with ethnic Sindhis, Pashtuns, Punjabis, and security forces. As a result, the army was deployed to restore peace in the city. Today, Karachi is an important financial and industrial center and handles most of the overseas trade of Pakistan and the world, mainly the Asian countries. It accounts for a significant share of the GDP of Pakistan. Geography. City geographic coordinates are 24 degrees 51 and 67 degrees 02 E. Most of the land consists of flat rolling plains, with hills on the western and Monera Island and the Oyster Rocks. The Arabian Sea beach lines the southern coastline of Karachi. Mangroves and creeks of the Indus Delta can be found toward the southeast side of the city. Toward the west and the north is Cape Monza, locally known as Ras Muwari, an area marked by projecting sea cliffs and rocky sandstone promontories. Some excellent beaches can be found in this area. Khasa Hills and Mulray Hills lie in the northwest and form the border between North Nazimabad town and Orangi town. The Manghopir Hills lies northwest of Karachi, between Hub River and Manghopir. The hills in Karachi are the offshoots of the Kurda Range. The highest point of these hills in Karachi is about 528 meters in the extreme north. All these hills are devoid of vegetation and have wide intervening plains, dry riverbeds and water channels. The rivers in Karachi are Malia River and Lyari River. The Indus River floodplain is near Karachi. The city is located on the Arabian Sea coastline. Climate located on the coast. Karachi has an arid climate with low average precipitation levels per annum, the bulk of which occurs during the July-August monsoon season. Winters are warm and dry, while the summers are hot and humid. The proximity to the sea maintains humidity levels at a near constant high, and cool sea breezes relieve the heat of the summer months. December through February are dry and pleasant as compared to the warm summers that dominate through the late spring to the pre-monsoon season. Karachi is considered to be one of the hottest cities on the planet. The city's weather can be compared to that of U.S. state of Florida in level of heat, humidity, and mosquito population. The city's highest monthly rainfall, 429.3 millimeters, occurred in July 1967. The city's highest rainfall in 24 hours occurred on the 7th of August 1953, when about 278.1 millimeters of rain lashed the city, resulting in major flooding. Karachi's highest recorded temperature is 48 degrees Celsius, which was recorded on the 9th of May 1938, and the lowest is 0 degrees Celsius, recorded on the 21st of January 1934. Economy. Karachi is the financial and commercial capital of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. In line with its status as a major port and the country's largest metropolis, it accounts for a lion's share of Pakistan's revenue. According to the Federal Board of Revenue's 2006-2007 yearbook, tax and customs units in Karachi were responsible for 46.75% of direct taxes, 33.65% of federal excise tax, and 23.38% of domestic sales tax. Karachi accounts for 75.14% of customs duty and 79% of sales tax on imports. Therefore, Karachi collects 53.38% of the total collections of the Federal Board of Revenue, out of which 53.33% are customs duty and sales tax on imports. Karachi and regional tax offices Karachi, Hyderabad, Sakura and Quetta cover the entire province of Sindh and Balochistan. Karachi's indigenous contribution to national revenue is around 25%. Karachi's contribution to Pakistan's manufacturing sector amounts to approximately 30%. A substantial part of Sindh's gross domestic product is attributed to Karachi. Karachi's GDP is around 20% of the total GDP of Pakistan. A PricewaterhouseCoopers study released in 2009, which surveyed the 2008 GDP of the top cities in the world, calculated Karachi's GDP to be $78 billion. It confirmed Karachi's status as Pakistan's largest economy, well ahead of the next two biggest cities Lahore and Faisalabad, which had a reported GDP in 2008 of $40 billion and $14 billion, respectively. Karachi's high GDP is based on its industrial base, with a high dependency on the financial sector, textiles, cement, steel, heavy machinery, chemicals, food, banking and insurance are the major segments contributing to Karachi's GDP. Karachi is the nerve center of Pakistan's economy. The economic stagnation caused by political anarchy, ethnic strife and resultant military operation during the late 1980s and 1990s led to an exit of industry from Karachi. Most of Pakistan's public and private banks are headquartered on Karachi's I. Chandragarh Road, which is also known as Pakistan's Wall Street, according to a 2001 report. Nearly 60% of the cash flow of the Pakistani economy takes place on I. Chandragarh Road. It was in 1963 when Habib Bank Plaza was built on this road, which remained Pakistan's tallest building until 2000s, when it was outgrown by two other buildings in Karachi. Most major foreign multinational corporations operating in Pakistan have their headquarters in Karachi. The Karachi Stock Exchange is the largest stock exchange in Pakistan, and is considered by many economists to be one of the prime reasons for Pakistan's 8% GDP growth across 2005. A recent report by Credit Suisse on Pakistan's stock market is a testimonial to its strong fundamentals, estimating Pakistan's relative return on equities at 26.7% compared to Asia's 11%. Karachi has seen an expansion of information and communications technology and electronic media and has become the software outsourcing hub of Pakistan. Call centers for foreign companies have been targeted as a significant area of growth, with the government making efforts to reduce taxes by as much as 10% to gain foreign investments in the IT sector. Many of Pakistan's independent television and radio stations are based in Karachi, including World Popular Business Plus, AAJ News, Geo TV, KTN, Sindh TV, CNBC Pakistan, TV1, ARY Digital, Indus Television Network, Sama TV and Dawn News, as well as several local stations. Karachi has large industrial zones such as Karachi Export Processing Zone, Site Korangai, Northern Bypass Industrial Zone, Bin Kashim and North Karachi, located on the fringes of the main city. Its primary areas of industry are textiles, pharmaceuticals, steel, and automobiles. In addition, Karachi has a cottage industry and there is a free zone with an annual growth rate of nearly 6.5%. The Karachi Expo Center hosts regional and international exhibitions. There are development projects proposed, approved and under construction in Karachi. Among projects of note, Ema Properties is proposing to invest $43 billion in Karachi to develop Bundle Island, which is a 12,000 acres island just off the coast of Karachi. The Karachi Port Trust is planning a Rs. $20 billion, 1,947 feet high port tower complex on the Clifton shoreline. It will comprise a hotel, a shopping center, an exhibition center and a revolving restaurant with a viewing gallery offering a panoramic view of the coastline and the city. Civic administration. Lyari is the oldest settlement, while Sadr town is also one of the oldest parts of the city but not as old as Lyari. The first form of government was a conservancy board established in 1846 to control the spread of cholera in the city. The board became a municipal commission in 1852 and a municipal committee the following year. The City of Karachi Municipal Act of 1933 transformed the city administration into a municipal corporation with a mayor, a deputy mayor and 57 councillors. During the 1900s, Karachi saw its major beautification project under the mayoral administration of Harchandra Vishanders. New roads, parks, residential and recreational areas were developed as part of this project. In 1940, Karachi Municipal Corporation banned the South African Europeans from entering the city due to South Africa's anti-Indian legislation based on the racist policies. In 1948, the Federal Capital Territory of Pakistan was created, comprising approximately 2,103 square kilometers of Karachi and surrounding areas, but this was merged into the province of West Pakistan in 1961. However, the municipal corporation remained in existence and in 1976 became a metropolitan corporation, followed by the creation of zonal municipal committees, which lasted until 1994. 2 years later, the metropolitan area was divided into 5 districts, each with a municipal corporation. In 2001, 5 districts of Karachi were merged to form the City District of Karachi. It was structured as a 3-tier federation, with the 2 lower tiers composed of 18 towns and 178 union councils, with each tier focused on elected councils with some common members to provide vertical linkage within the federation. Each union council comprised 13 members elected from specified electorates, 4 men and 2 women elected directly by the general population, 2 men and 2 women elected by peasants and workers, 1 member for minority communities. 2 members are elected jointly as the union mayor and deputy union mayor. Each town council comprised the deputy union mayors in the town as well as elected representatives for women, peasants and workers, and minorities. The district council comprised all of the union mayors in the district as well as elected representatives for women, peasants and workers, and minorities. Each council was also included up to 3 council secretaries and a number of other civil servants. Ni'matullah Khan was the first Nazim of Karachi and Shafiqur Rahman Parasha was the first district coordination officer of Karachi. Parasha even served as the last commissioner of Karachi. Saeed Mustafa Kamal was elected City Nazim of Karachi to succeed Ni'matullah Khan in 2005 elections, and Nasreen Jalil was elected as the City Naib Nazim. Again in 2011, City District Government of Karachi has been demerged into its 5 original constituent districts, namely Karachi East, Karachi West, Karachi Central, Karachi South and Malia. In November 2013, another district, Korangai, carved out from District East, after which the number of districts in Karachi rose to 6. So there are now 6 administrative districts in Karachi. City Administrator is Mohammad Hussain Saeed and Municipal Commissioner of Karachi is Matanat Ali Khan. The position of Commissioner of Karachi was created and Shoaib Ahmad Siddiqui was appointed as the Commissioner of Karachi. There are also 6 military cantonments which are administered by the military.